Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 in losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
And action. Welcome to the Journeymen Lounge podcast. I am Woj. To my right,
I'm Ryan.
Mr. Purple.
And cowboy on the end is Bobby.
And Senor Cowboy. The Journeymen Lounge podcast coming to you week 2 of the regular season.
Howdy.
Football is back, and
Howdy.
I still am fucking jazzed up about it. I'm just every week.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you guys' first weeks go? I'm just go first. I went 3-1 across 4 leagues. Came in second in the pick'em, so I was pretty happy about that.
2-1. Had the high score in the one league and the 2 quarterback league. Had the high score. I'm sorry, I went a little loud there.
Yeah, it's all good.
Had the high score.
You could emote.
in our big league, our money league, but then Kyle got it from me by like 1 point on a late touchdown from Tyrod Taylor. So I'd San Fran D in that league. But anyway, 2-1, good week overall. And getting the win in the big league is most important. So.
Okay, Bobby.
I'm also 2-1. The one for our loss was a combination thereof Amon-Ra St. Brown and the fact that we had two people from the Raiders, and I love my father. He's helping me manage this team, but he gets super excited about certain players like Zamir White for one. And
when did you select him? You told us this
fifth round when he
Oh,
easily
boy.
could have gone like 6th or 7th.
Probably 8th.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think farther down than fifth,
Right. No,
fifth round
okay,
for
understandable.
sure.
But the cool part is, the one thing I didn't tell you pre-show was I'm part of this survivor pool. So you have to pick a team. You can't pick them twice, and, they got to win. Every 9 out of 12 people in the survivor pool I'm in picked Cincinnati to win week 1. There's only 3 left, and it's me, and I have Baltimore Ravens this week.
Okay,
Because I think it's gonna be
quick question
Who'd
on
you
that.
pick last week?
Bears.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. You're
I
good.
picked the Bears.
That's fine.
I know, right?
So
Nuts. Clink.
if 3 teams are only remaining, let's say this week, the last two out of 3 get eliminated. That the survivor pool
I
is
win.
over week 2.
3. Yeah, or going into week 3. Yeah.
Oh my god!
So 9 are already eliminated.
That's crazy.
You guys
So I'm already in the money because I think the top 3 get something, and everyone went on Cincinnati's dick for week 1.
Do you think if it ended that quickly, you guys would just do another pool just for shits and gigs? Like,
Well, then put more money in the pot.
No,
I'm
I'm
a
saying, like,
gambler.
would that-
Maybe, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm excited that I looked at, like, hey, who's left with me? 3 people. I'm like, okay, I like my odds.
Sorry, and real quick, I'm in a wins pool. That's what we're calling it. You
Gotcha.
basically select 3 teams. I believe I mentioned it last time.
Mm-hmm.
And Philly, and I had Pittsburgh. So those 2 won. So I'm 2-1 in that. And I was talking with Snoop, shout out Snoop, about that wins pool. Is like basically all you have to do is just try and avoid 0-3, like weeks where your team does not get any wins. Like if you just consistently 2-1. 1-2.
Are you? Could you repeat? Could I constantly pick KC if that's
No,
the
no,
case?
you get 3. You drafted 3 teams. Those are yours for the whole year.
Oh, okay. Was
So-
it a random selection, like out of a hat? These are your teams?
No, we got to pick them in just snake style.
Okay. All right. I understand.
I'm just saying it's another
a
thing
cool-
that I'm
yeah.
in. And again, like overall, first week was pretty good. Like all teams really performed. Like one team didn't, but what you got, Bobby? You went 2-1, 2-1.
Yep, and I
3-1.
got an $80 kicker for biggest blowout for another league I'm in. So it's a 1-point PPR. I was sitting at 172 or 175, something like that, and I had Puka Nacua, and then he got injured. But the guy I was playing was like at 110. So yeah, I crushed. I got a little payday that one, and that's a larger paying.
hell yeah.
So that was nice. It's a nice incentive.
Hey, I think, again, week 1, fucking good stuff for everybody there. All right, so let's move on into your individual team. Just give me kind of more of a detailed breakdown of, like, who went off, what happened wrong. Ryan, you can – or Bobby, you want to go?
I'm going to start real quick.
go
I
first.
had Evan Ingram. Let that settle in.
1 point.
I had Chubba Hubbard. Let that settle in. But I was able to rally up enough points with my other players to pull off the win. I still did well enough, and like I said, I think there's a lot of potential and capability on my team. But seeing those 2, and I was like, oh my god! So I am now playing likely for week 2 instead of Evans. and maybe I'll flip Evans to a flex, but I was like, I picked up Isaiah Likely in the last round of a 14-man league, and
dude,
I'm loving that pick.
Dude, the people know here, man. You know, I think on the Journeymen Lounge, you said that because you went through like your whole team, and then you watch week 1, Isaiah Likely goes fucking off. We're watching it as you're like crumbling in your chair.
And we thought he got hurt, and
He's back in the next.
And then he
almost got the touchdown to win it.
Yeah, his toe was out. We're like, oh, he was back in. What the hell? That was crazy.
No, I'm excited. Like I said, he's very talented, and I know Mark Andrews is on borrowed time, so is more of a wait and see type of pick. But I always enjoyed his route running. He knows how to block, and he's a bigger guy. Like you're in the red zone, find your boy.
So
dude, they gave him a rush too in that first game.
How did you win? Like who went off for you?
Or did you lose in the one
like
that we're covering?
Or did the other guy just do so?
The other guy did not.
Poor.
No, but I still got 106, 107 for a 14-man league, and that's a half-point PPR.
Okay.
Let me get into it real quick, just because I don't want to mistake.
I'm just saying, let's highlight like who went off for you, and then who sucked for them that got you that win, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That loss.
Come back to me. I just want to pull it up so I have that
cool.
information.
Ryan, if you got it, go for it.
Cool. All right. My team, annexation of Puerto Rico, big money league. So I had the second highest score of the week. I put up 132.3. The guy I'm playing had 116.9. He had Moody get 20 points for him.
I had Moody.
Almost bring him back. So
I had Moody.
Yeah. Thankfully, I already had a lead, and I had San Fran D going into the night. I had like a 30-point lead, so I was pretty much sealed at that point. So for me, Lamar Jackson got me 25.
That's a big day.
That was big. Kenneth Walker got me about 18. He had a touchdown called back. I think he had like 22 at one point, but then I looked at my phone and it went down. Mm-hmm. Singletary was okay. He got like 7.2. It's not.
I've never been a fan. You guys know that.
Yeah, it was more of like it was the best available at the time. Tyreek Hill had a big game for me, 22 and a half.
Tyreek.
He got arrested before the game. I know he was going to play, and then thankfully he did. I thought we were going to have a situation like last year with the playoffs where he didn't play. I started him again, and he didn't play.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
Anyway, Mike Evans went off for me at 20.6.
Evans, dude, I told you guys that he's a touchdown.
2 touchdowns. That was huge.
Yeah, every touchdown that Evans gets and Jalen Waddle doesn't get, I'll just keep banging my head against the wall on that.
Oh, wow, really?
It came down to it. I polled a lot of people. A lot of people said Evans, but I'm like,
you just went with.
I went with my gut feeling of Miami's offense will sustain consistently, but Mike Evans to me is always a ticking time bomb. That's why I shied away. I'm trying to go.
He's not injured all that often. I mean, he does put up some weaker games, but it doesn't matter. So, real quick, go ahead, finish your.
Oh, sorry. Well, I got like 2 more. Laporta was okay, 6.5. Pickens in my flex got me 10.5. He had 6 catches. With Justin Fields throwing the ball, so that's nice to see. And then I had Dicker for the kicker for the
kicker.
What's it called for the Chargers? And then I had Niners D got me 12. So. All in all, 132. This week, I must say I'm a little worried for Kenneth Walker's got an injury, abdomen or oblique or whatever. And he's had that in the past, so I really need him to play. Otherwise, if he doesn't play, I have to play. Singletary's obviously playing, and then I have to play either like Jaleel McLaughlin, Gus Edwards, Bucky Irving, or Chase Brown.
Bucky had a good.
He did.
He had a good performance. So the guys who won me week 1. And I'm glad he had a decent game given the circumstances. Brees Hall, 14.5 points. Not bad.
He showed up to the game.
He showed up, but like I said, I had Moody. He put up 26 points. And Xavier Worthy, baby, I picked him up late, too. I think it was, nice. 7th or 8th. And I was like, you know what? Throw him in the flex. But on my bench, you guys would like this. I had Likely on my bench, so I was always like, oh, God, this guy's having a day. But I have McMuffin.
Robert Loja.
Palmer sucked. He didn't have a good week 1, but I was sitting Robinson and Shakir, and they had good days. So,
a good bench, man. That was the thing that we said about your team is like, hey, everybody from the starters is pretty good. But I mean, if your bench shows up like that, I mean, that's a good.
Makes my job a little easier.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
I'll just go with 2 guys. Hill, 22.5, and Jake Moody. You guys also said those guys. So, those guys had half of my points and. Like Vince, the guy that I was playing, like all of his guys just went like very middle of the road. Like quarterback got 15, running back 11, wide receiver 11, kicking.
That's at least double digits are nice. You
kicker
can't
8.
complain.
I just think overall it just was like I'm watching the game because, man, fuck you, AT&T, you fucking moron. They lost a contract with Disney or some shit, so I don't get the channels like ESPN, ABC, so I couldn't watch the actual game.
Wasn't that on Hulu, possibly? I think one of the games?
You have to have the
No, Monday night
You have to have
is-
live TV.
Oh, I don't.
live
Okay,
TV.
I was watching it on my cable, so I was able to watch a Bears
Yeah,
game.
like most fucking normal people that fucking don't have AT&T. I just like fucking was watching it on my phone, and I did. It was the funniest shit ever because I like checked back in. I'm like, oh, it's another field goal. Oh, I'm only down 10. Oh, I'm down
Another field
5.
goal, yeah.
Oh, I'm up 2. Oh, dude, I won by like 10 points.
Was that Moody just crunching it?
Dude, 26. Every time I checked, I'm like, yes, another field goal.
Oh.
He's got to be salty about that, though.
I was gonna say I forgot to mention. I'm really sorry to cut you off. And you don't want me to mention who did bad for the other guy. He started 3 Raiders against me.
Raiders.
Oh, yeah, hold on. That was part of the conversation.
Zamir
too.
White, Bowers, and Devontae. So sorry, Qualia.
Nah.
Tough break.
I don't think the Raiders are the team to go to.
I mean, I
there,
wouldn't
but-
feel great about starting 3 Raiders in my lineup. I had 2 last year when it was Myers and Adams, and I didn't feel great doing that either.
Okay, so for the ones that tanked for him, he had London and
Oh,
Kincaid.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say tanked, but Henry only gave up 10 points, or only got 10
Yeah.
points, and Gus Edwards did not, pretty much
No.
exist. So he had a weaker performance, but his defense was the Bears' defense. So although I won a pretty big, sizable bet for Week 1 on FanDuel, I was like, this guy's just racking up points. The Bears' defense is putting up mean numbers. So.
Right.
But like at that point, I had a lot of guys starting on. Oh, don't worry about it. On Monday, so it's like I was losing going into Monday, and then I had 2 or 3 players, and then I was like, I feel it because I had Moody, San Fran defense, and Brees Hall. So that took care of everything else.
Nice.
Yeah, Moody had a day.
That's cool. So you guys want to go to Bobby's Bets, Woj's Wagers real
sure,
quick?
dude.
Okay.
You start us off. I gotta pull it up.
So I have just a quick one, and I got this nice little boosty boost. James Cook, anytime touchdown. Josh Allen over 1.5 passing. Keon Coleman 4 receptions. I think it just simply needs to be a higher scoring affair, and those could easily hit, and that's got boosted by a lot. So
Okay.
let's hopefully hit that. Short and sweet, keeping it to the point. What do you got, Bob?
I got James Cook 50 yards rushing.
Nice. We're on the James Cook train.
Josh Allen, anytime touchdown scorer, which I definitely think he's going to trot one in. And Khalil Shakir over 50 yards receiving.
All right, so we're just all Buffalo.
No, but I have
offense.
2 different bets. So I did all Buffalo, a 3-leg parlay. That's
Okay.
the one. 10 pays 60, which I'm like, that's not bad. Then I went Miami, Tyreek Hill, anytime touchdown scorer. Tua Tagovailoa, I'll never
Tonga
Tagovailoa.
Bailoa.
250 yards in the air, and Tyreek Hill over 80 yards.
I would hope that happens. We're on the Tyree. Who else has Tyree?
So for that one,
Yes,
10
sir.
pays out 40. So it's not a big jump, but I'll take $40 in my pocket. Pay for gas.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Hunt. Let's rock. Let's rock today.
Rock and roll.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
So, yeah, for the fantasy, I mean, that's like as in depth that I plan to go kind of each
Yeah.
week for the individual fantasy stuff. Let's kick it over to the
Picks of the week.
let's like talk about the game that's going on tonight. Miami Buffalo.
Let's talk about it.
Let's
mean,
talk about it.
I'll say, dude, I like the division division games happening on Thursday. It gives a little bit more of an incentive, but I just want to see, for the sake of the game, not even my bet, let's see a good game. I just want to see
I agree.
good football. Let's not have a game where it's fucking, like, even the Jets San Fran game. I thought it was kind of dog shit. San Fran played all right, but like good enough. A lot of field goals.
Mason had a good day. Let's not undercut.
But
his
I don't
performance.
look at like a whole. I mean, maybe like the Houston Indy game, week 1 was
That
pretty
was cool.
pretty entertaining, like
Yeah.
back and forth stuff. So like I said, I'm just on the boat for a good game. But let's do the thing that we did before with like X Factors or whatever.
Yeah, sure. I like that.
So I'll go
Steady Eddie and X Factor. Yep.
one. Okay, I like the terms. The first one, X Factor, I would just put it all upon Josh Allen. It's literally he can run shit in. I think it's very easily doable for him to have like 3-4 total touchdowns. and a bunch of yards. But if he falls short, he has a lot of turnovers. It's over before it began. Let's do X factors first on the line.
X factor for me, Kincaid needs to be part of the equation for Buffalo, especially in the red zone or just kind of working your way down the field. The guy is time tested, good tight end. He knows how to block as well. So get him involved where you can. That's my X factor for Buffalo. Are we going to do Miami too, or circle it back?
No, dude. 1-1.
Okay, so okay, we'll do 1-1.
X factor.
It's supposed to be
Rapid fire. So
Buffalo. Let's go James
this
Cook.
guy because
they need a running game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then let's flip it over to Miami. I think it's pretty unanimous in this. Hill needs to.
Well, I don't feel like I would consider him an X factor. I feel like an X factor would be someone.
You need someone else to show
not
up, I guess.
necessarily is gonna, like.
Oh, I just look at it. The guy X factor is the guy who needs to
make or break the game. That's true.
Needs to go him going off means that the game is over.
Like what Bobby was saying about Steady Eddie, that seems more like a Tyreek Hill to me.
You need him.
Okay,
who's the guy you can count on?
Right.
Okay, let me refrain.
Generally,
let me switch my answer then. I'm gonna go with. Who's the wide receiver that they just got?
Keon Coleman.
No, like
Bills.
Waddle.
No, yeah, and the Bills. Didn't they get a
Curtis Samuel?
They have Curtis, Keon Coleman, and
Shakir.
Okay, I'll go Shakir. I think Shakir would be my X factor punt return maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I do think one of the Buffalo receivers needs to step up. Like one of them needs to take charge and fill in for Diggs.
Definitely so.
I agree with that. And then, like you said too, with Kincaid, like maybe he can be that, like where he's the one who's
he needs to be the X factor for Buffalo.
Target, right.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if they could utilize, especially I think from watching at least week 1, they like to utilize the zone. If you could get him in between zones, he's a big dude. He'll get some yak. He'll get some yards after a catch.
Yeah.
That'll really help out their offense because yeah.
As also like I said, James Cook, like if he can run it and if he's catching passes out of the backfield, he's a pretty good pass catcher. Like he'd be a big, big help for them to win.
Okay, let's flip it to Miami then. X factor is somebody who would need to kind of step up.
Someone you maybe won't expect necessarily.
I mean, I think I'm going to go with whoever the fuck is running the ball for Miami.
Yeah.
Whether it's A-Chain, he was questionable, or Jalen Wright, or Jeff Wilson. Kind of like a roll of the dice here tonight. In the, I know, Ryan, you don't like that with having A-Chain, but...
Well, you know what? And we talked about it off camera. The best option is to start A-Chan, unfortunately. I don't like my other options, really. It's too risky either way, and he has the most upside. So,
you know what? I'm going to just take 2 seconds. My one cousin who he can always find a way to get under my skin. Love him to death, but he has A-Chan, and I'm going to leave names out of it just for anonymity or whatever.
Anonymity?
Yeah,
words are hard, right?
Yeah, words are difficult. But he has both a chain, or K9, I call him, and Mostert, and they're both hurt. And I'm like... And he had a good week once. I'm like, eat that, you piece.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too. I have on this team A-Chan and Mostert for this very instance to hope that
have a handcuff.
If A-Chan's hurt, I got Mostert, but now they're both hurt.
Yeah,
so.
You don't expect your starter and the handcuff to get hurt at the same time.
Now I have the handcuff.
All right, so my X factor for tonight for Miami to bring things back to rewind.
Yes, that's fine.
Sound effect. No, I really think that Tua needs to just minimize turnovers. If he could just,
but the X factor.
That is the X factor.
Well, I think so.
See,
he needs to have a good day in the air. I don't say an incredible day,
but I think our definition just flipped of the guy that you would not expect, like a quarterback.
No, I don't
one
consider
wide
Tua to be
receiver.
a steady Eddie. I need him to do well tonight. I need him over 250, but I also need him to minimize turnovers. That's all.
I kind of could see what Bobby's saying because Tua's not like a guaranteed usually.
Yeah,
good.
I don't consider him like something like Novocaine. It's going to work.
Like he's not like the team's best player or one.
I think Waddle and Tyreek would be more of my steady. I need Tyreek to be steady Eddie. Just go out there and crush it.
Yeah.
I guess, but I look at Tua as he did pass for the most yards last year, I believe. Don't fact check, but I believe he did.
He's definitely either one or two. Yeah.
And my thing is if they're down, great. Mike McDaniel is the coach. I think that's his name, right? Dude, he is such I want to see fucking points. They put up 70 points fucking last year when they
Sure.
could have easily just been like, yo, we're going to cap it at like 40, 50
Right.
and just run the ball. But then they were running the ball fucking
So
and
the
passing.
second half of the season, Tua kind of struggled a little more. He wasn't as consistent. So like he's not necessarily.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't consider him like every week he's coming out and just putting up like at least 20 plus. That's not his thing. He's had off weeks, especially especially in different climates. I'll say he's a climate driven dude. In colder weather, he does not play as well.
I mean, that's based off of the games that he has not played in well. So like I get where you're coming from. That I think he needs more of a. What's the word I'm looking for? Like more games to get the sample size.
Get out a bigger sample size.
Like,
because
because everybody just remembers that Miami KC game where it's like, yeah, this is why. Because Tua couldn't handle the cold and he looked frigid out. Like, I heard that a million times.
No, I know that's an oversimplification, but the reality is his numbers decline. Like if we had to do a chart, there is a direct correlation of temperature Fahrenheit and him for passing yards.
I can tell you as an editor, I am not going to find that chart.
No,
so.
you shouldn't. I'm just saying, just trust me.
I get what you're saying.
But
so,
my steady Eddie needs to be for Buffalo. I know I didn't mention it. Needs to be Josh Allen. We need him to just do what he's been doing and not fuck up.
Rush for a touchdown?
Yeah,
probably.
he needs to get in.
What do you got for Buffalo's steady Eddie?
Josh Allen for sure.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Miami X Factor. Let's say pass rush.
Yeah,
Get pressure on Josh Allen, shut him down. Because if you do that, I think that you got a really good chance to win the game. Even if for some reason their offense should be good, but if they're keeping up with your offense, you need to at some point stop Josh Allen. And getting pressure on him is a good way to do it.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So let's go just quick through the picks for the week. So who you got tonight? Bills, Dolphins.
It's at Miami. I got Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I'm going to say the Dolphins as well on that one.
Oh, yeah, let's go through our picks.
Raiders, Ravens.
Ravens.
Ravens. Okay. Browns, Jaguars.
Jaguars.
I'm going with the Browns on that. I think.
You got some love for the Browns. You always do.
I think they will find
Watson
a way.
will figure it out?
In the absolute sense of my fantasy and Amari Cooper, I hope like Deshaun Watson just throws like 5 touchdowns at Amari on Sunday.
Amari's good, but
I like Amari, but
I'm
yeah,
going
Watson.
Cleveland. We'll see what happens. Jets, Titans, Jets.
Me too, Jets.
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 Because their defense is so good.
Jets.
Tennessee's D is good, but Levis, man, he had a horrible.
Yeah.
All right, 49ers, Vikings.
Ooh, this is going to be a good matchup. 49ers if McCaffrey's in.
49ers.
I got 49ers regardless. Chargers, Panthers,
Chargers. Yeah.
Seahawks, Patriots, Seahawks.
Pats.
Seahawks.
Okay, Bobby's going with the Pat train. Saints, Cowboys. Got the
Cowboys. Yeah.
Cowboys.
Giants, Commanders. I have Washington.
I do too. I need him, but he's 5-1-1. Daniels against Washington. He plays like Tom Brady.
Giants in a slight upset.
I need Washington to win though because I have a parlay. So let's go.
I mean,
Let's go Commanders.
I've been picking chalk the
Hold
whole
on.
time, so I feel like I gotta go a little bit.
I like it.
I'm going Washington.
I know.
You're going Giants. You're going what?
I'm going Washington. I'm just saying Daniels is 5-1-1 against them.
Yeah, Daniel Jones sucks
Well,
major.
Maybe you'll get hurt and
dude.
Drew Lock will come in and they'll win. So,
Yeah, maybe.
I just hope Washington just
Dude,
turns
it's
it up.
Washington's
At home.
D line is actually the best part of their team. So
maybe Devin Singletary runs for like 150 yards.
okay, yeah, okay. And I
Oh,
fucking grow
That's
mushrooms on
wishful
there.
thinking. Okay.
All right, so we have
You hurt me with that one.
2 seconds. Hold on, real quick. Aaron, I love this. Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, are you recording the podcast right now?
Yeah, you're on the podcast right now. Say what's up.
Oh, hell
What's up, Aaron?
Hey-o.
Hey, guys.
Aaron.
Don't talk.
We love you.
Yeah, we miss you producing, man. You got to come back to these.
Yeah.
I would love to. Unfortunately, right now I'm in band season, so I got all these rehearsals and stuff.
Gotcha.
For sure.
So, well, that, and I also started school, which guess what night the classes are on?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Gotta be Thursday. Could
Yeah.
not be Thursday.
Son of a bitch.
Well, I hope you guys are having a good time. I've been watching the episodes, very, very impressed.
Yeah,
Thank
Woj
you.
is getting great at some
Yeah.
production, effects. Very cool.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Can I say it? First time caller, long time listener.
Yeah, you can definitely.
I like it. Hey, I love it. Our
All
right,
original
well,
producer.
All
Yeah,
right, man.
I'll catch up with you via text. But
Just-
thanks for taking the call. I
Yeah.
hope it makes the cutting room floor.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. And yeah, you're the second calling because I think we
Yeah.
had Sean on.
Yeah, we had Sean on. Yeah, one of these.
Oh.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, man. See ya.
All right,
Bye,
bye, guys.
Aaron.
Have fun.
See ya.
Okay.
We gotta get your brother back on
That
here
was
too.
Aaron. Jeremy definitely will be back on.
I like it.
We're gonna definitely
Jerry,
do a
Mr. Radio voice.
Dude, yeah, put him on radio. Guaranteed he'll get a job.
Trubisky fan club numero.
Yeah, I don't understand
I
that
love
though.
Mr.
Okay, back to the
Trubisky.
picks. Buccaneers, Lions. I have the Lions.
I have the Bucks.
Bucks upset. Let's go.
Yep, I'm going on the upset train.
Colts, Packers, Colts.
Colts.
Bobby?
Defer.
What do you think, Cowboy?
You want it to end in a tie?
Yes, I'll go tie.
Bobby will go tie for
Because
week
I don't
two.
want to go against Green Bay. They're gonna lose because they don't have Love. They're gonna have what? Willis.
Malik
Okay,
Willis.
Bobby. Let me just ask you a hypothetical question.
My
okay?
heart says Green Bay. My mind says Indy.
but my body.
I
But
think there's a
my
stat where I
body-
heard Malik Willis has never thrown over 100 yards in an
So,
NFL game. Or
guys,
something.
honestly, it's Indy, but I don't want to openly admit it. There it
Okay,
is.
let me ask you a hypothetical question. Are
Here we go.
Are you one of those Packers fans that will go like, okay, the Packers' current team, no Jordan Love, against the 1970? No, let's keep it in the Packer fan. Like the 1964 Lombardi team that won the 63 or 64. Like, are you still going like, no, the Packers of today are gonna like kick their
No.
No. Okay. So like
I'm not an idiot. I'm saying Indy will win. It just upsets me knowing that they're gonna spank us.
I just look at it like Indy just has all healthy pieces, and
we have
Jordan Love missing is your fucking king missing of chess.
right.
Also, for the record, I think it's the 67 Packers or 66.
That's fine. No, I get his analogy. I'm not.
I'm just saying I've met some fans of every fan base that go like, no,
man.
this is the year. This is the best team of all time. They're like, no.
Some of those guys back in the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, they put the hurt on you because there was no flags. They would just take you out.
Well, I was gonna say, Bobby, before the pod was saying he thought they were getting Justin Fields in a trade. It was a rumor.
There's been rumors Justin
Rumor.
Fields for Christian Watson, and I'm like, that's probable. He played in the NFC North. He knows the teams. It wouldn't be a hard transition. That's all I'm going to say.
If I'm honest, that's
If I'm being-
fake news.
All right.
I feel like the Packers have to give up a draft pick too.
Okay, so Colts. Bobby's
I
going.
don't think they should.
I'm going Colts. I don't like it.
Okay, that's what I was kind of getting at because like you do have to make a pick. I was gonna say tie is terrible for your numbers.
No, I know. Okay, Colts. I don't like it.
Okay, he's going with the Colts. Who doesn't like it? Rams, Cardinals.
Rams. Do it, you whore. I know it.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm going Rams. Steelers, Broncos, and a who gives a shit.
Exactly. Steelers.
Give
because of their
me
defense.
You know this total score.
Steelers.
Total score will be under 34, guaranteed.
I'm expecting a lot of field goals.
Might need a big Jaleel McLaughlin game.
McMuffin?
Depending on
We need
Kenneth-
McMuffin to show up.
Depending on Kenneth Walker's game time status.
All right, Bengals, Chiefs,
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Bears, Texans.
Texans.
Bears.
Come on, be real.
Bears.
Be real. You didn't even get 100 yards offense.
It's our defense, baby. It
Who
don't
cares?
matter.
You have Houston. Houston's got a better offense
Yeah.
than Levis,
Yeah,
and you
we'll
have
see.
Stroud.
That's good. We'll see.
Okay, we'll see it. It'll be 14-0 at the end of the first.
I'm not gonna lie, Roma Dunze is definitely influencing this a little bit because I think if he was healthy, I'd be an absolute Bears no problem. Because
Fair enough.
I think Caleb Williams has to do better than 93. He just has to.
Oh my
There's
God,
no
that was
way
rough
he could,
to watch.
There's no way he could do less than 93 yards. The defense is a big part of this, so I would go with like the Bears, but like it's gonna be skin of their fucking
Oh
ass.
yeah, it's not gonna be a blowout.
No, I'm not saying a blowout. I'm saying like they're gonna have to get some lucky punt return or last second field
definitely
goal.
have to get-
And I swear to Jesus Christ, if Velus Jones is still in his fucking team, I'm gonna fucking burn something down. Okay, I'm putting it out there. I don't give a fuck. Get him off the team, man.
I'm a Yamo burn this place to the ground.
Like Jesus Christ.
If
I'm
I
sorry,
hear this
man.
song one more time.
This is a real pain point for me. It's like a guy who turns the ball over in the NFL still is on the roster week to week because he's fast and dynamic.
No, it's all because he can play both positions now.
But I'm just saying
And
it's because
right
he
here.
is.
Yeah, right.
I'm just not a fan of him
He
and
sucks.
the fact that. Did you see the play, Bobby? When
Yeah,
he-
I know what you're talking about.
the return that he fucking kicked off his
He
toe.
kicked it like 20 yards
20
to the
yards
defense.
into
That
the
was
fucking-
hilarious.
It's just like,
It's
dude,
like,
what are we doing?
What would you say you do here?
What is it?
All right, sorry, we got one more before we gotta go real quick. We're gonna do a wrap up of the State of the Bears, State of the Packers.
Yeah, real quick.
Falcons, Eagles. I got
Eagles.
the Eagles.
Gels.
I mean, I love Monday night games, especially when my quarterback's fucking playing.
Kirk Cousins looks like his Achilles maybe isn't healed yet.
Ooh,
There's a reality to
Hot
that.
take.
He's older, and like, granted, he probably has the best health care and access.
they absolutely do.
But the reality is, your body starts to fail you after a certain point, and you could train all you want, but tendons don't get strengthened. You know, it's not something that you could just build up like a a pec muscle.
I think it's Kirk Cousins is probably starting to realize this year that like, hey,
Age is a factor.
When you get injured, it's fucking shit to come back with at any time to recover from a season ending. I mean, Ryan, our in-house fucking Achilles expert,
Right.
is well aware of the fact that like it sucks. It's a grueling process, and he's what 36 or something like that.
35.
35.
Is
No.
it
Kirk
Oh,
Cousins.
I think he's around my age. Yeah, 35.
I think he's our
36.
age for sure. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you don't like. I think he's really coming. Again, this is a 1 week hot take, but like, I think he's starting to realize, like, oh shit, like he wasn't even a fucking scrambler at any point in his career. Now he's really limited in fucking movement and shit, and like again, maybe just like not.
His mobility has been impacted.
I mean,
for
being
sure.
out for a year, maybe he's just not used to the fucking timing of shit.
But
NFL
no,
is fast.
think about when you as a quarterback, you stress a lot on your heels, your tendons, especially your Achilles, because you're using that to explode from to make throws. You're supposed to be throwing back here, not. So I having an injury there, regardless of rehab, dude, I'm sure there's some like lasting tightness or lasting kind of like pain.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, from what I heard, it's this, evading in the pocket, moving side to side. It's kind of hard.
His
to-
lateral screwed,
right.
Yeah, and we'll just throw this out there that we are qualified doctors. I went to
John Hopkins,
Yo Mama's fucking university, so
DePaul over here.
yeah, I mean that's just our speculation on that bullshit though. So let's wrap this up though. We're not going to take too much because we've kind
A
of
minute
talked.
each. State of the Packers, state of the Bears.
Yeah, let's start with the state of the Packers, Bobby. Okay? Because last
Two
year,
things I just want to mention.
Sorry, let me just preface it though. But
Okay.
last year, Packers had a couple down games in the beginning. And Bobby, if
I
the
shit
fans
on
remember,
them, dude, yeah.
you fucking vowed off the Packers. I'm not watching the fucking game. They won, and then you were like, "All right, back on the train." So I'm just wondering.
I wasn't back on the bandwagon, but
Where-
I was pleasantly surprised how things literally arced from him, losing games tremendously to winning them.
Okay, so
Two items.
where are you at right now?
They should have went for the touchdown on the previous drive. You always try to play from a position of power. When we went for a field goal to still be down by 2, really fucking stupid. And then second, Love getting injured on the last drive. I mean, I hate to admit it, but he is a crux to our offense. Reed and some of the other wide receivers that are younger, which are great. We have Dobbs, Wicks, and Christian Watson. They rely on the health of him because Malik Willis, he's not going to bring him to the promised land. We're going to have 3 straight losses after this, for sure.
I pulled you guys before because I have Jaden Reed in the big money league with Ryan.
And that hurts
I'm
you,
like-
man. All the people that picked Reed.
And I was like, he was on my bench for the first game. I won anyway, but like,
Yeah,
I
30
still was
points
like,
on the bench.
now I want to possibly play him. But you guys make a valid point. Like Malik Willis is just not going to be able to sling the ball.
And Indy's defense ain't that bad.
He's more of a running quarterback, I believe, from what I remember. Malik Willis.
Yeah, he likes to kind of bring it outside the pocket. But Indy's defense, they don't play games either. They're not that bad. They got Houston to basically, they had Houston all the way down until like the 3rd or 4th quarter. So we'll see.
Okay. You sufficient on the Packers?
I'm good with it. Yep.
Okay. All right. So state of the Bears. For me, I'll just kind of go with it's everything up from here. He didn't have a great first game, Caleb Williams, but like he ended up winning the game or doing enough to not lose. So
Did he, though? I mean, the defense won the game.
I'm just saying he didn't turn the ball over 6 times and tried to run for it. And
Didn't he
got
turn
rid
it
of
over twice, though?
Caleb,
Wasn't there 2 turnovers?
Caleb Williams, I don't think, threw a pick in his opening. No, he didn't.
No picks?
Caleb Williams didn't throw a
then
pick.
there was probably just 3 and outs constantly or something.
I mean, the Bears defense won them that
Yeah.
fucking game. But I just look at it like everything is up from here. Just fucking keep doing the shit.
All positive, yeah.
And honestly, wins reign supreme. Ryan and I are no, Jen.
I knew it. Freudian slip.
We were
Freudian
just
slip.
talking about the Packers.
He didn't speak for me.
Ryan and I are Bears fans, though, that have lived through the time where it's like the defense reigns supreme. They're fucking always better defense than offensive teams. And you just kind of like it's good. It's hard-nosed football. I like it. But obviously, again, I think it's time that the Bears get a quarterback. And, again, just have him sling it out there. Let's see what happens. Let's kind of take the reins off and run the ball.
I was actually very upset about the fact that they didn't let him like loose. Like he didn't throw, I think, more than 1 long ball. He should be, not to say that this is college, but man, dude, first down, maybe do a play action. They might bite on it and just, send it.
I'm saying more of the Caleb Williams and his throwing was inaccurate all over the place.
And low.
Missed a
There's
lot.
guys at the line that were like hitting him
batting
in the face.
a lot of them down. So, like, I think he just needs to understand, like, hey, these guys are going to throw their arms up. And I see a lot of sidearm kind of throwing. I think that's more of, like, how he actually throws the ball. But, like, in general, you got to, like, try and find a way to come over the top. On some of those, like, screen passes, you kind of got to, like, dip them under.
I know. I can understand that. But to your point, though, he was throwing too much of probably lasers, but these offensive linemen were just like, okay.
Dude, he's throwing it, like, at their helmets. So.
I know. So he needs to be a little bit more tactical about how he gets it to their, the receivers out there.
All right, Ryan, what you got?
I just want to be. I only saw like the 4th quarter. I literally, when I started watching, is when the Bears started coming back. I saw the tipped the interception return and the interception to seal it. I didn't see most of the other Caleb Williams shit, so I don't want to be like, from what I did see later on, yeah, like he didn't look great. But I know that Keenan Allen dropped a touchdown, I believe, right?
Yeah, he did.
So he could have had at least 1 touchdown, maybe. So that's something.
I'm just saying Levis could have done this on all the possessions in the second half and just ran it out because, no offense, that Bears offense was not producing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Will Levis definitely lost the game.
He lost the game.
A win's a win, and it's great to see a vintage Bears defense getting turnovers.
Oh, yeah, they were killing it. I loved watching it.
I like Woj said, we grew up our whole lives, Urlacher, Briggs, Tillman, all like these Bears
Hearing of the fucking legends
Bears
before
defenses that were just like could carry us every year, and we would just hope to have a competent of offense.
For like 35 years, you guys have been steady, with a good defense.
So if we can just have a slightly above average offense and an amazing defense, I like our chances. So hopefully, as the season progresses, Caleb Williams improves. Everybody improves, Adunze, whatever, and, they gel and things ramp up. That's all I can say.
Yeah, let's see what happens week 2. It's a real opponent in Houston, and, see what goes from there. All right, so we, as anybody who listened last week, so we're back on the movie review train.
Yeah.
We got, what the fuck did we
Friday
do?
Night Lights.
Friday Night
Let's
Lights.
switch.
Oh,
No, we're not. We're going to take a break real
Oh,
quick.
we're taking a break.
Yeah, dude, I was closing it out, so I'm going to say that's coming up next. And then, so we'll be back in a little bit, grab a drink, and we got Friday Night Lights review. Reviews are back, and fucking get ready.
let's do it, boys.
And Bobby's a cowboy because it's Texas.
Odessa, Texas.
Odessa.
There you go. The Journeymen Lounge podcast returns. We are doing Friday Night Lights. This kicks off a movie review where we're going to do kind of same thing we did with Denzel movies. So
We're doing football.
everybody's doing football for football. And let's fucking get into it. Brian, I'll let you take it away.
All right. So my choice is to kick off what's called Football Movie Month or whatever. Friday Night Lights.
Forgot my spectacles.
Now,
Hold on.
okay. Now this is the movie, not the show. Although they're
Much better.
they're both based off of the book.
Okay, can we just get into that real quick?
Sure.
So
What would you like to get into?
just the fact that I saw the movie. I have not seen the show. Is this like is it just like a money grab type of deal, where they just saw the success of the movie and then?
Well, no. So, okay, I've seen the show. Have you seen the show, Bobby, or no?
No, I've not.
Okay, so I can tell you guys. So, okay.
Yeah.
So the movie is actually like the book. Like it's like based off a real team, a real thing. Like the
1988 Odessa,
Permian Panther
Panthers.
team. Then
Yep.
they changed some things in the movie, but it's based off of that. And a lot of the players are the players in the actual book in real life.
Right. They did a good
Now
job.
the show is not. They basically took the concept of the movie and they made it into a fictional team of fictional characters, but like the basics are there. Like instead of the running back gets hurt, the quarterback gets hurt. He's a star quarterback.
Okay.
The backup quarterback has to come in.
So can I say that it's probably then very similar to the movie? It just is taking place over a course of more seasons. You said,
yeah,
I
so
think.
basically, it takes the show is 5 seasons, and yeah, it's like every year or whatever.
Does it have Varsity Blues vibes?
Varsity Blues also, I believe, was inspired by the book, which Friday Night Lights is based off.
So
of.
there you go.
So there's
Yeah.
a lot of but the basic concept that they take from the movie and the show is like a highly ranked Texas football team is supposed to go to state. They have this newer coach. Or whatever. He's got pressure from the boosters and shit, and then his star player goes down, and now he has to figure out how they're gonna survive the season and whatnot.
The book is by
H.G.
Bissinger.
Bissinger, yeah. So the show is awesome though. It's really cool to watch.
I mean,
the
maybe
football shit at least is really good.
maybe at a time, maybe check that out. But again, for my feeling right now, I'm good with the movie. I think the movie's good, but I'll let you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go
So
with the synopsis.
so it's the movie is it's based on the book, like we said. It's about the 1988 season of the Permian High School Panthers from Odessa, Texas, trying to make a state title
Ryan,
run.
do me a favor. Turn that AC thing off.
Technical difficulties.
Uno momento.
Yeah.
Oh, pick. Oh, we're also watching the Miami Buffalo game right now, and
Buffalo just got a puck. A pick. Can't even talk.
Bobby, words are hard today.
Words are difficult, man.
He took on the cowboy mentality where he can no longer speak.
This is why Tua is an X factor, not a steady Eddie.
Thank you.
Fuck off. All right, here we go.
So anyway, it's based on that. It's about these high school kids, football team, small town Texas. Yeah. Okay, so I guess let's start with for you guys.
Do the synopsis of the movie. I
just did that. I did I just said the Texas football team, Permian Panthers from Odessa, trying to make the state title run.
Okay,
1988 season.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna elaborate a little bit more. Like they literally.
You want me to go into the plot?
I'm just saying they got.
No, I like it. That's enough of the plot.
They got an injury early. They ended up getting it to the playoffs on a coin flip, which actually happened.
Well, we're going to talk about this when we go over scenes and shit.
I'm sorry.
I was giving a brief synopsis. I don't want to get into the
fine,
details. But
just trying to give a little context.
Okay, so whatever. Their star running back.
fucking guy.
Their star running back, Booby Miles, who's like, I don't know, Barry Sanders mixed with Walter Payton or some shit, basically.
Right. Barry Sanders definitely feels.
Yeah, he gets hurt. He fucks up his knee, his MCL or ACL or both.
ACL.
And he tries to come back early, stupidishly, and he fucks himself up even worse. Anyway, the whole season they have to figure out how they're going to survive because their whole game plan is based upon this one player. And like I said, they have all the pressure from the boosters, from the town. Like literally the town shuts down for every football game. Nothing's open. Like all they care about is football. It's like Texas football. Football is life.
Dude, let's reiterate that Texas football is literally fall and spring.
Yes.
And you know how much I've been to a high school Texas stadium that's better than I think some of the regional stadiums for football around here.
I mean,
they don't play in Texas.
I put it down in my notes that people from Texas
They live and breathe football.
Psycho about
Yes.
football.
They're obsessed with it, and they do this. They do this very well in multiple things. Like we talked about Varsity Blues, the show. Like they really make you feel as though, like, man, like all these kids have the pressure of like being a professional football player, basically without being a professional football player.
Dude, and on top of it, it's legacy. It's these guys that have been in that town and going like, I won this shit in '64, and
right,
yeah, you got a good old team, man. And
right, and they keep showing it throughout the movie. Guys with the rings. Are you gonna go out and get it, son? You're gonna win. What are you gonna do? You know, like. So
What a great cast of actors for this too. There's a few notable ones. But
Right. No, and I'll just put a pin on that. Like last point though is just that
Pinning
it
it.
literally these guys. The running theme is that basically like you have a fantasy, like not a fantasy, you have a football championship or you don't. There is no other like that is life or death.
They say Billy Bob as Coach Gaines in one of the first scenes as no make no mistake, gentlemen. He's like we're here to win state. Like that's it. We're winning state. We're going to state. We're winning state. Like there is no, like you said, no fail. Okay, yeah. So when did you guys first see this movie? Or like,
when did this come out?
2004. Or what's your experience with this movie? Have you seen it often? Just like have you not seen it in a while? Give me some.
Go ahead.
I saw it, I think, in high school, but not like the year it was released. I think it was about a year or so later. I think I picked it up and checked it out. Great movie. Love some of the characters, and I played football in high school. There's a lot that went on that maybe didn't ring to some of the other people watching. But one item in one scene in particular, guy Boobie Miles, obviously talented, incredible athlete. He's like, yeah, I don't need to hit the gym. That's God given. And the reality is that's just a horrible attitude because you need to get bigger. You need to strengthen yourself because you're going out there and playing a man's game. You're about to get your ass whooped. So, yeah.
Okay. I would just say that seems like a movie that I would definitely have if it hadn't seen it in the theater, probably rented it right after one of those movies that it's football and it's on top of that it's a little bit edgier. It's not your Little Giants type of shit, where it's like, hey, this is just a good old fashioned. I was actually surprised watching it through fully. I've seen a bunch of clips. AMC had it for a fucking long time on, and I kept catching this scene and then this scene and whatever. Just the bloodiness that's in there. There's a guy that walks up, his fucking fingers dislocated.
Yeah.
They got cuts over their face. They got all this shit. Get in the fucking end zone, James Cook.
X Factor?
That's what I'm fucking talking about, dude. Fuck you. Fuck your X Factor.
We got James Cook on our one.
It's fine. Good call. Whatever. Moving on.
Okay. For me, I specifically remember when I saw this. This came out when I was a sophomore in high school. And I saw this instead of going to homecoming. I remember I went the year before and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go for whatever reason that year. I think it was with my brother and my dad or something.
Okay.
That's cool that it's a family thing.
Yeah, right? No, it was really good. Woj kind of touched on it. This movie is really good.
It's gritty as shit.
Gritty and more of a realistic type of football movie, showing how high school football really is, probably, or close to, I guess.
Blowouts and fucking...
And just the way it's filmed is more like you're kind of watching a documentary almost, even though it's a movie. As opposed to, let's say, Remember the Titans, which is more stylized and like we talked about in that review, in that movie, that they don't do the plays as well of the way they film it. It's kind of too close, or this movie you have all the
They
angles.
did a great job for cinematography
you have
on this one.
Up top, sideways, on the field, behind, forward, every angle, and you can clearly see.
They did a blimp shot.
Right.
At one point.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
And you could clearly see, the situation, they have to get 10 yards here. Oh, they have to do this. Most of the movie, although we'll get into it later. There's some continuity with some of the yardage and shit, but either way, the way it's more of a you're one of the better realistically filmed sports movies, I would say.
For sure.
Okay. So let's get into let's just go to the favorite scenes. Let's start with that. Why not? Let's start. Give me a couple scenes.
I love the training camp, the quick cut scenes, the fucking music. I don't remember if there's a specific song played over the top.
The in the beginning of the movie when they're all getting interviewed and all that.
The very first spring training or whatever the fucking equivalent is. Quick cut scenes and the brutal circle drill with Preacher in the middle. The one lineman is basically it's anybody. From what I saw, it was anybody can just run at this guy, and you're supposed to be able to block him from
and they just hit you,
and he just gets fucking wrecked 4 times in a row. Like you said, brutality, edginess, and shit that.
In that scene too, we see the dynamic already with Donnie and his dad. He comes down to the field and
basically
takes him down.
Let me
Rips
throw
him
in
a new
because
asshole in front of fucking
because we
everyone.
have a lot of picky nits. Let's try and do it. If you have a picky nit on something,
No,
throw it out there. No, I do. This is what
I
I'm
do
saying.
too. Okay, if you want to get
Okay, with
let's-
that real quick though,
Yeah.
is just like, where's the security? Just the dad can just walk onto the
That's
field.
his son, and
no,
it's the 80s. I believe it.
I think more accurately, where's Coach Gaines? Why isn't he?
They showed him
something?
in the background. He's just sitting
Now,
there.
you guys, we talked about haven't seen the show. I have. Now, I like the coach better. I think Billy Bob's really good, but the coach in the show, what's his name? Friday, whatever. Kyle Chandler, who plays Coach Taylor.
Yeah.
He does a better job, I think. And like, if this would have happened in the show, he would have like get off my field. Like he would have said something like, "Don't get my player," whatever. Like,
Right.
Billy Bob kind of just like walked away.
He just
and
let it
saw
sink.
He allowed it to happen,
Yeah,
but
he
I'm
just
okay with that. The reality is, this is 1988,
Yeah.
Texas football. Your son
I did
is
consider
embarrassing himself because he's constantly dropping and fumbling everything. You know what? Yeah, I'd fucking have a conversation with him too.
Right, but okay, but also
I wouldn't be as big of a dick.
buddy, and that's what I'm saying.
I
is that
wouldn't
also
fucking-
in that, it's like he literally in the movie he's just ripping his kid. He throws him
Yeah,
on
and
the
he ends
ground.
up, like, punching
Get
him or
up,
something like that.
do
And then
this, whatever.
Fucking Chavo's in the middle of it. Chavez. Or
I'm just
whatever,
saying though, in
yeah.
that context, like if he was just chewing him out, I go, yeah, you the coach. You
Yeah, but
sit
no,
back.
when he got
When
physical,
you get
yeah.
physical,
Right.
where's the stepping in?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel
And that
like
was Tim McGraw, right?
Yes,
McGraw, yeah.
great job by him. And I feel like again, like the coach,
Billingsley.
the coach would have and should have fought for his player a little bit. There.
Right.
Like you can let the dad maybe a quick something, but like
You know
See,
what?
I would have
I'm
thought
okay
it's,
with it.
it's a power thing of like, get your goddamn ass off
this
my
is
field.
my field, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you don't come on this field,
Right.
or
This
whatever.
is my domain.
But he was
You're
a
on the
former
fuck-
state champ.
See, and that's another thing. It's not a super picking it, but like you could see it's such a tight thing of like, if you won a championship in Texas, you apparently are a god,
Yeah,
and like you can do no wrong.
whatever you want.
Like the cop is a fucking champion.
Yeah.
the
It's
fucking,
okay, but guys, the reality is this is a smaller town. I bet they were given special privileges. If they got busted at a party,
for sure.
hey, you guys go home. I'm not gonna,
I totally get that. The law is also very, very loose back in those days.
I would say too to go with what you were saying about the whole coach on the field, whether he should or shouldn't have said something.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby was saying that this guy's like a legend, right? He's been on the team in the past.
He won
a-
a state championship.
I don't think necessarily that Coach Gaines gives a shit. He's not from there.
Yeah,
he
he's
got
only been
hired
there
3
1 year
years ago
or
or
whatever,
2 years
yeah.
ago.
Fair enough.
So like I feel like if he was, maybe I could see that. But since he's an outsider somewhat, that he would be like, this is
Okay.
my fucking team, this is my fucking field. Get
I could
off
see
of
it.
the kind. But either way,
I get what you're saying, but you could clearly see throughout the film that
Yeah.
there's a lot of pressure from the community and
Oh,
other
absolutely.
folks to have the level of
Right.
expertise and the level of winning expected for this program. So
What other scenes you guys got?
my favorite scene was when he chucked his ring out.
oh,
When he was
yeah.
driving, he kicked out the
So-
windows and then chucked his ring.
So yeah, they're driving home through a loss, right? Donnie and his dad, and he says,
Charlie.
I got this sickness in my stomach. I need some air." And he kicks the windows out, and then he's like, "Can you touch it? Can you touch it with the ring?" And then he
Yeah, fucking
throws
with
out
the
the
console.
window.
Yeah, needless to be said, it's
So-
fucking Billingsley's father is an alcoholic, and basically, again, what we were
and
talking
he
about
saw
before.
Amber Heard kind of topless, so that was
Okay,
kind of cool.
but
Sorry.
it's the thing of he's living in the past. He goes, "This
He
is your
is.
life. You win or you fucking don't, and then you're a loser." Like he says that in another monologue or whatever. So like it is that thing of like, yo, you must win because then you are a winner. If you don't,
Him taping
Your
up
life
his
is-
son's hand after he was
Yeah.
trying to get to
Psycho
second
shit.
base.
I was just gonna say all the Tim McGraw and Donnie scenes are great. The one Bobby mentioned, the one with the duct tape where he's punching the ball out.
Mm-hmm.
The morning after when he comes back and he's like, "You just don't get it, son. You just don't get it." And then he puts the ring on the counter and he found the ring somehow
I mean, some
in this field of grass. Like impossible to find this ring.
To me, it's one of the things that keeps the fucking shit going. Like
It's-
the movie through the through line of like, yo, this relationship, because at the end they're fucking hugging it out, even though he lost.
Yeah,
and they're
well,
doing
it's
a
definitely the
emotional
most
moment.
fleshed out relationship and
Absolutely.
and the most fleshed out characters of the entire movie.
Absolutely.
They kind of do a little bit with Booby and his uncle, but I don't think they do enough. But Donnie and his dad by far is the best part I think of the movie. Like,
So, yeah, no, I agree. I'll just go another one. The whole booster panel is comes into Coach Gaines' office like right before the first game, and they're like, We just want to have a look,
Yeah.
talk about defense. Now, if you run in the 4-3,
Oh, and that was a fun
And
like
he
cut
just
go,
scene.
go, go,
There was
go.
like 4 or 5 people giving him notes on how to run a defense.
he's like, oh, okay.
Well, and you can see this scene before that. They have the high school party juxtaposed with the booster dinner.
Good word.
Right.
And they're all telling him how to run his team. Oh, you should play Bowie Miles both ways. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. Aren't you
Right.
guys too
Okay.
small? Like, you know.
Can we dive into that just one second? If he
Just-
is really
yeah.
that talented, it's just a shot out of the cannon.
Sure.
I would put him in certain packages like a dime defense where it's more of a prevent where you need some speed and like hands on the field. Yeah, like, does he have to be an incredible tackler? No, but he could be a great safety if he needs to be.
You know what I thought? Even, let's say, post-injury when he's fucked up. Why not put him at quarterback? Mike Winchell ain't that great. Boobie even shown he can throw the ball a little bit. Maybe a couple packages
good
with
idea.
that or something. I don't know.
To your suggestion at the end there, Ryan, I think it's just a little bit too much before the time of like really utilizing like a running quarterback that probably came along
Well,
more
at this
in the
point,
90s.
yeah, that's true. I'm saying though, when he couldn't really run, when his knee was fucked up, like, he
Oh.
still had some decent throws,
maybe.
maybe
maybe.
for high
More of a
school.
pocket,
Maybe.
quarterback. in that
because you don't
sense.
need to really cut and do shit as much. When you're
I understand it, but
quarterback.
also that again, just another picking it. I'm gonna go back to my initial
Sure.
point. If you have a torn ACL and they're like, "Yo, the ACL's torn," this guy must be fucking Hercules or some shit because he was running out pretty well on a torn ACL. Where I'm like, most people are
But
like,
that was after what, 4 or 5 weeks, right? But regardless, your
Okay.
ACL with a tear, you're going to be mobile enough within about a month or so when you're that young. I'm not saying
That's
you're in
fine.
great shape, but
picking it result.
Yeah.
But back to my point, dude, is like I could see him initially punt return, kick return, especially in high school.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
an easy way to get him the fucking ball, and not open field necessarily, but like, use him in that, and then it kind of wouldn't have the worst impact. I would say like as opposed to playing like corner or nickel.
Actually, I'd be a little bit nervous about
Nickel
a
corner.
punt or kick returner because all it takes is one asshole who just goes low on you.
yeah.
So, you know what? I'll nix that real quick.
All right, what else scenes?
I would say for scenes for me, I got we already talked about the Donnie and his dad scenes, but I would go. I love when Boobie does the Bill Cosby impression in the weight
But put it
room
pops. Yeah.
to Mike Winchell to make him laugh.
him
He's like,
smile,
"Oh, I got him smiling. I got him smiling." And then
He was such a melancholy character in this fucking.
of course, obviously, all the game.
Give me the end zone.
I think he's short.
No, extended. Give him it.
I think
Is that Waddle?
I think all the
Waddle.
game situations, like all the actual games where they show the football being played, are awesome to watch, and particularly, I'm gonna go with the Comer breakout game where he has the 85-yard catch and run, and he starts to like, "Who is that? That's Comer. Were you sure?"
Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah. And then obviously,
Sorry, just to add on to that, the pregame shots leading up to the Marshall game where they gave the shots of the locker room. To me, those are always my favorite. I love those, like where he's got the helmets lined up,
Oh,
the
yeah.
lockers pristine,
yeah,
and then it kind of got pumped up with the other stuff.
for sure. I think I like to include the coin flip
Yep, for
telecast
sure.
or
Yeah,
whatever,
that was
whatever you
crazy.
call it, where I love the breaking down. Like he's got a 22 silver
Yes,
dollar.
yeah, no,
That was
he's got a
so- that was
60,
so- that was-
69 nickel.
Hold on,
and
hold
that's
on.
just your basic U.S. quarter. And then there's like a questionable thing with the one coin. He's like, hold on, we may have some trouble
That's
here.
the
whatever.
announcer. The announcer
Yeah.
guy's like 1922 silver
He's that
dollar.
guy. He's been
well,
in a lot of
all right.
movies.
69 nickel. Oh, that's just your basic. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
such
basic
a
US
Texan,
quarter.
Yeah, Texas accent there. I will go with in terms of just to me great scenes. Like I liked it, but it also to me was just a great scene when Boobie breaks down in the doctor's office after the doctor is just simply telling him like you
and
shouldn't
him's
be.
freaking out,
You need
yeah.
a surgery.
You
on this.
from Midland, right?
Yeah.
He's like
That was a heart wrenching scene. He's like, "You're telling me the one thing that I've been promised my future on is now gone."
right. I mean, it's very
He's
evident.
not an intellect.
It's very evident that Bobby, and I like that he says he's like getting interviewed, which is also odd, dude. They interview everybody. They interview the third string.
The reality is, those guys are going to college. A lot of them are going to college in big schools too to perform.
Okay, I'm just saying in terms of interviewing, when they're interviewing Booby about his grades, they're basically kind of hinting at like Booby is a fucking moron and he struggles reading the college letters that he has. what are offer letters or, hey, we're trying to,
Fucker. I wanted waddle.
and he's like, struggling with words. So he's a dumbass, but like, I do like in the one quote where he's just like, excuse me. He's like, only one subject. It's football.
Yeah.
I got an A+ in
Straight
it.
A's, baby.
Yeah.
Football.
Football.
Yeah.
Only
He
one
definitely
subject.
ran, dude. Like, if you had to look at his like technique, it was like Peyton and Sanders mixed together. It was
Exactly.
He was very elusive.
very athletic too, man. The guy's,
Yeah.
and that's a tough to put that on your knee, man. That's a tough, oof.
So, I mean, the other part where Booby gets absolutely fucking annihilated, dude.
The first game
So
or the
the
second
first
game?
game,
Yeah.
he gets like his one leg pin, gets hit over the top.
Yeah.
Second tackle, like he tries to like kind of hurdle a little bit, and he gets like clipped
Yeah.
under, clipped in the air.
Over under, baby.
And he's just down. I was like, oh my God. I just put down in my notes, Karma's a bitch. Like, he's the boisterous guy. He refers to himself in the third person. Unfortunately, he got what was fucking coming to him. That's
You know what was
was
sad?
gonna
That
happen.
whole I think it was Coleman, right? The backup running back or RB
Comer.
Comer. I didn't like his story arc. I really didn't because they didn't really provide much narrative and they didn't provide much depth to it.
I agree, Bobby. I had that in my notes as well. They have Chris Comer here, supposed to be the new guy, and an interesting story would have been like, hey, how's he dealing with the fame? How's he dealing with this, the pressure? And they don't.
They never explored it. They never really dove into it.
He gets
No.
nothing.
And
I
Chris
agree.
Comer was Lee Thompson Young.
Jet Jackson.
Yeah, Jet
You know what?
Jackson, that's
You know
how
what I
know
love
him.
to see though. You had Billingsley who like literally separated his shoulder, popped it back in,
Oh,
and
That was pretty sick.
that was
pretty
such a
sick.
cool scene
Yeah.
for me because he's like, I'm gonna go beyond this because this is like I'm not gonna have a future in football. A lot of these guys, after this, that's it.
Well, I think-
and he got him down to the 1 yard line, and then there was like a holding penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being honest, realistically, Booby was the only person that ever mentioned anything about football. Winchell was starting to get something from like Kansas Wesleyan or some
Yeah,
shit.
some smaller
like,
school.
it's-
Booby
it's-
and
at the end, Christian got a division.
yeah, but I
one.
don't. But Christian Lawson, I
The
think is his
pastor
name.
or whatever.
the
Ivory
preacher-
Christian.
Ivory Christian. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got Christian Lawson from, but that's cool. It's a good name. Somebody used that in a movie.
Yeah.
follow us.
No, like he didn't say a word. And also, I did research this guy. I think his name is also Lee Thompson, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
He did this movie. This is his only movie. Lee Jackson. Sorry, bro.
Oh, you mean
Friday Night Lights.
Ivory?
Ivory, it says
Yeah.
this is his only acting credit.
And unfortunately, the actor who played Comer, he's no longer with us,
Yeah,
which
he
is
killed
sad.
himself.
Yeah.
That sucks. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So let's. If you guys have any more scenes, are we good on scenes?
No,
We're good on scenes. We
All
could,
right. Let's just get into then. Let's go with. You guys have any quotes you want to throw out there?
Yes, I do.
Start
Let's
whoever's
hear it.
ready.
Who is God's favorite player? Booby Miles. The little kids answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of religion takes they play.
I love
after a
that
lot
they
of
do the Lord's Prayer before the game. Both
It's-
DC.
It's a nice, honestly, in terms of a movie. It's a great scene when they do it in unison. Like it sounds good, it looks good on camera. I mean, it's just
Especially-
religious.
especially Southern Texas '80s. Football. Like
Christian, yeah.
For sure.
I like the well, I was going to say the whole movie I really love, and they do this in the show as well. The radio show playing throughout
Yes.
the scenes,
Excellent.
and incorporating them.
That was a nice touch. I
They
really
do that,
enjoyed
and they do
that.
that again in the show as well. I think it's called like Slammin' Sammy's or whatever. It's like the name of the guy. But one of the ones after they lose, the one guy goes, "I think there's too much learning going on at the school."
Yeah, I heard that one too. I got
Okay,
that
the
down.
reality is you would never start a starter if you're up 42
Oh,
to
we
7.
want to get into this now.
Yeah, let's get into it now.
Okay, I
'cause
got
this is
big.
ridiculous.
Can I get in? I got big notes.
I got a
here.
lot of picky nits actually.
Yeah,
so
I do
let's
too.
go.
Okay.
Well, let's just start off with the first. So,
Okay.
so people like Comer. The
It's-
way that he gets in the game is that he forgets his helmet. They're up
Stupid.
42-7.
I would take the penalty. I'd be like, we're gonna find your
Okay,
helmet.
let me just
No.
let me just
Woj-
explain
Well,
real
let
quick.
Woj cook.
Let him
He-
cook.
No, he forgets his helmet. He goes up, and also Billy Bob is like, "Well, where you going, son?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you need a helmet.
You
to
don't
put."
want a helmet?
Yeah. All right. So he goes back, can't find it, tries to grab other people's helmets, finally doesn't. Then Booby gets up and he's like, "Don't worry, water bug,"
Yeah.
which is what he calls him.
You can't
though.
be coming into the field with no helmet, water
Yeah.
bug.
So he runs out there. Okay, I'm just setting it up. But
Terrible.
go ahead, Ryan, with
All right,
where you're at
thank
because
you.
I'm in
So-
the same place.
Let me just say too for the also with the background. It's fourth quarter. I wrote this down. Fourth quarter,
Like-
minute 41.
Yeah,
they're up
nothing
42-7.
Yeah, I was right on 42-7,
Yeah.
right?
Here's what you do. There's many options. Let me go over them. Just have Comer use Booby's helmet or anybody's helmet for that matter. That's option A. Option B, have Donnie run the ball. Have the other backup running back who's in front of Comer. Comer's the third string, if you recall.
Right, he did mention
Have
that.
one of them run the ball. Option 3, how
Take a
about
knee.
take a knee?
Yeah, the game's over.
Like,
Game's over.
Like, literally, I had as a question / picking it, is Coach Gaines really a good coach? He Tom Thibodeau'd the fuck out of Boobie Miles, and Boobie Miles got de-rosed because of it.
The reality is that probably wasn't the truth on his injury or this or that. I'm sure it was.
No, in reality, I was gonna say in real life, his foot got caught in AstroTurf, and it got stuck.
And it also happened in
that would have been way better.
But it also happened in the preseason.
Sure, but I'm saying I think that would have been a better for us as the audience to. Like, oh, well, that shit just happens. That's fucked up. This is like a dumb decision where it's like, It's an avoidable good
position.
coach who's getting paid $60,000 a year makes that fucking decision? It's so
okay. And this is just 2 seconds. I want bring back grass football. This composite, this bullshit. No, play it on grass. You guys are billionaires. How much does it cost to seed a fucking field? Quit being lazy, cheap sons of bitches and put grass on the field because you're hurting your athletes.
I agree. I would just say, Bobby, to just like devil's advocate, it was the 80s where the AstroTurf was more prevalent back then.
I don't give a shit.
I'm not saying it was good. It wasn't. But
I'm saying you got $1 billion fucking organization. Time to get some grass.
Countless baseball teams, football teams all had AstroTurf. There's a lot of.
That was a huge thing going into
let's
the 90s.
reel it into the
Sorry.
the movie here.
All right, let's go back to quotes.
I got Go Mojo. Is just I like
Go Mojo.
I like the
that
fucking little saying there. Gary Gaines, I think that's his first name, right?
Yes.
Gary Gaines. Whatever it takes. I mean, that fucking. He's like, yo, you're gonna put your life on the fucking line right now, and they do. I mean, it's a fucking good. You know what, Ryan? That's what I will say about Gary Gaines. He makes the fucking players want to put their life on the line. Maybe for high school, not the greatest. But at least he's a motivator in the truest sense of the word.
But I don't think he is, except for the one scene in the movie, the halftime speech. Other than that, I really don't think he's doing that much to motivate. What are
you talking about, dude?
Those
guys are on the field killing themselves for a football.
Yeah, but not for him. Not
yeah, they are. They're
doing it for themselves, for their town, for themselves.
All of what he does though throughout the movie is like reinforcing.
Yeah, he creates
whatever it takes.
He
gentlemen.
fosters a
we will be
environment.
perfect. You know, it's fostering an environment.
All
right, we gotta move on from the thing.
Wrap it up.
Bowie Mile, I got Bowie Miles. Like, yo, Billingsley, you don't have to worry about ever hanging on to the football. You know why? Because you ain't never gonna get the football. Your job is blocking for Boobie. I don't care if your dad is sitting over there crying.
I love that. That was a great fucking line.
Y'all wanna win? Put Boobie in.
Yeah. How about
I'll twist him up.
God made black beautiful. God made Boobie beautiful.
You know what's fun?
When I knock someone out, I'm gonna knock them out in Nikes. I'm gonna smile when I do it. And then Ivory Christian's like, I'll knock your ass out in flip flops.
Yeah.
You know that's crazy? I like that scene because then you saw Comer grab his Sharpie and start
coloring the Adidas. Yeah, I like that too.
When Billingsley is he gets like really excited for like a first down or a touchdown.
Yeah, I love your enthusiasm.
He's like I like enthusiasm, but my goodness,
like,
son, go sit down. Go sit down.
Or like when he fucks up or whatever, and he's like, why are you putting your helmet on? You're not going back in the game. Don't need your helmet on or whatever.
I mean, I like just a lot of lines from Gary Gaines, Billy Bob Thornton's.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, his whole halftime speech is great.
Loved
definitely so. But I was like, when he's in the coin flip or the delegation.
Ain't no curses.
The conference room for like
what a
them
soccer
figuring
thing
out.
to say. Jesus Christ.
What?
I thought you said regular. Sorry.
Okay, dude. In the conference room for the coin. I'm sorry, for the stadium location of the game,
yes.
And he's just like, last time I checked, zebras got the same amount of white and black stripe. Like it's a race thing. It's like the Dallas Carter is all black.
Can I just say right now too? I'm picking it right there.
Sure.
Are they really deciding a week before the game? They have no stadium booked for this giant Texas State football game, and they're going to decide a location at random. And then they're just supposed to just be available. Like,
no.
The Astrodome is just sitting there.
Yeah,
the Dallas Cowboy, wherever. Like, I mean, if you're going for like a big stadium like that, which they are, like, I don't.
I think that's also a picking it. I think it would take a few weeks out before.
I assume that it would be decided before the season even began.
No, not in the 80s. I can't imagine something that deep.
Or at least before the playoffs.
I mean, Yeah, no, I agree. It's another thing that
It's like
they
a
should've-
movie, like a good scene for a movie, but I was just
You'll see in this is like obviously as you go over the picking nits, you'll just see that it's just a lot of Hollywood aspects. It's things to fit into the story
Right.
to make this this way and what have you. I'll just go though in terms of the Gary Gaines monologue, Preacher's monologue, dude, in the halftime.
Preachers,
speech.
hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all playing like some little girls.
Yeah.
They bleed just like we do.
Yeah.
They
You
get
sweat just
tired,
like
yeah.
we do.
Yes, sir.
Dude, it's just going back and forth with the
Yeah.
And
other
you saw
Dallas
some big
They
brothers.
went
hits
through
out
2
there,
days.
like-
We went through 2 days.
Dude,
in the
I-
sun.
Yeah, 100.
I mean, it also it's
Fuck,
one of those
dude,
things
fuck
though
that.
he doesn't talk throughout the movie, makes
He's a
that so
quiet
much
dude,
more
yeah.
impactful.
Well, and too when Coach asked him, he's like, "What are you seeing out there?" He's like, "They big, they fast,
play dirty."
they dirty,
Yeah.
they fast."
You already said that.
Yeah.
Last one I got is with oh my god, Tua. Gary Gaines, he's like, let's shut these cocky sons of guns down.
I wish he was had sons of bitches right there, but yeah, cocky
So,
sons of guns.
Also, in this movie, they throw in some other colorful language. We'll just throw it out there.
Yes.
Not fuck. We'll just put it that way. Is this not an R-rated movie? Is it
I
PG?
think it's PG-13.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, and technically, if you do PG-13, you're allowed one fuck.
Yeah, but it wasn't that, is what I'm
no,
saying. It was
yeah.
something much worse.
I just have one more for a quote. Donnie at the when they're at the restaurant after their first win or whatever, and the guy takes a picture of Mitch with his baby.
Mm-hmm.
I like that line.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
That's
go ahead.
Christian Kane.
Yes. Donnie's like, if I have anything to say about it tonight, you're gonna get drunk and you're gonna get laid. He's talking about Mike Winchell or whatever. I thought that was really good.
I think the life lesson, though, is that were thrown down by both Billingsley's father as well as a lot of these townsfolk. They're like, hey, this is the time. Like these are the memories you need to make.
I
And then
have
he's
it.
like, after that, what? It's babies. And,
I have it, Bobby, if you'd like.
Yeah,
Go,
Go ahead.
go for it.
Run
Do
it.
it justice.
You just ain't getting it. You don't understand. This ain't the only thing you ever gonna have forever. It carries you forever. It's an ugly fact of life. Donnie Hale, it's the only fact of life. You got 1 year, one stinking year to make yourself memory, son. That's all. It's gone after that. And I'll be damned if you're gonna miss it.
now, dude, living in the past, though, but I get it.
He's right though. He's
right.
When you're a kid though, you really don't. Not like high school's everything, but it is a nice time. Like you have no worries, you have no responsibilities. Like
You're right. You
never-
definitely underplay.
I mean,
never-
especially
you
high
never
school
get that back.
football player, like that's a
And-
upper.
And like Coach Gaines, I think says too at the halftime, he's like, some of you guys might never play football ever again.
You're right.
This
the
is
last
this is your
13
last two
Right.
quarters, right? Yeah.
So it's like make it count, basically, or whatever. And it's true, but you really can't understand that till you're older and have perspective. But it's a good. He's right for sure.
Okay, done with the quotes.
Yeah, let's done with the quotes. Got the fuck out of the woods. Let's go. Let's go. Who's your favorite scene stealing performance? Who do you want more of?
Okay, I'm just gonna make a blanketed statement here. Is that the core group of actors I think were great, and I'm throwing that to Billy Bob, excuse me, Billy Bob, Jay Hernandez, Derek Luke, Lucas Black is not on that list. Garrett Hedlund, Lee Thompson Young, Tim McGraw, even Grover Colson, Connie Britton.
Who's Grover Colson?
That's LV Miles.
Oh, okay.
To
the
me,
uncle. Yeah.
Mike Winchell, Lucas Black, like Ryan and I were talking about it previously, is like they're trying to make it so like he seems as like a very meek and like basically a child. At one point, he's like crying in the movie a couple times. Totally get that, but I think in the scenes that like it was very important. Like there's one scene where Mike Winchell's calling his sister or brother, some sibling.
Yeah, it's your mother too.
It's your mother too.
Yeah.
Like gave me nothing. He was so fucking shitty at acting at that moment. I'm like, dude, if you had somebody in there, I don't have a substitute.
Right, thank you.
But like if you get somebody else in there, I'm like, oh fuck, this movie
See,
hits home.
I don't think he's bad. I think he's fine. I think especially when he's in like the huddle and he's like I'm about to cry because he's so hurt and he's so banged up. Like, you okay, Mike? He's
I
like,
mean,
I think that definitely for one of the actors
he
they
for
could
sh-
swap out.
dude,
definitely him.
from
I mean,
those
he
hits,
could, but-
from those hits, Mike Winchell definitely had broken ribs.
I also
he
think
got
that
pummeled.
I think it would help that scene that you're talking about with the phone if we actually saw what was wrong with his mom. They kind of
Right.
hint at it, and
Yep.
they never really. We don't get like a scene where she
No, nothing
freaks out or
Right,
something,
right,
or
right, right.
something happens and he has to deal with it. Like I think that would have made his character more meaningful and more impact in that other
I
scene.
absolutely agree. Absolutely.
But I would say for me, it's definitely Tim McGraw. I think he's the best person in this movie.
I mean, it's the most meat though on the
No, he
role.
does. To be fair, you're
Yeah.
100% right. I think Derek Luke does a great job as Bowie Miles, and then, like you said, Billy Bob. Is just,
Billy Bob is one of my all times. It's
I prefer
anything he's in.
my Billy Bob more drunk and angry and funny than like calm and laid back like this.
I
but
agree. I'm just saying is
still
that
made
still at this.
fantastic. Yeah.
I think they could have made a couple different choices
Yeah.
in terms of what, like, maybe he gets a little bit angrier, maybe he gets a confrontation with Tim McGraw, like a wild side, like fuck, like you don't know if Gary Gaines is going to rip your fucking throat out.
I think those three guys would be the top ones, and I think Garrett Hedlund, like you said, did a good job as Donnie. I think, but again, he gets a lot to work with. So
I'll also just throw out that Julius Tennant, who is Mr. Payne in Dazed and Confused, as well as the Dallas Carter.
That's what that guy was. I knew it.
I thought you had that, dude.
Oh my god. Okay, are we getting to that guy there right now?
I'm just saying that's kind of scene stealing. Now go to that guy.
Okay, well, Bobby, do you have any?
I just thought that Boobie Miles' performance in the car and at the doctor's, I think that was incredible.
Yes,
and it felt very authentic. It felt like
it's one of the reasons that this movie goes up to me, because like they, like, to me, I feel like they did 2 out of 3 4 relationships well. They did Boobie and LV
and Tim McGraw
and Donnie.
Yeah.
They didn't give really anything to Billy Bob and his wife.
And they didn't really give anything. They didn't give
Korma
enough.
Really
they didn't give enough
to
Mike.
Winchill and his mom.
Chavo got nothing.
Chavo got the fucking.
And you got Jay Hernandez, one of the better actors in the movie.
Sandpaper hand job.
Wasted. But
you got the sandpaper hand job.
No,
Everybody else
you,
got
man.
fucking.
Damn.
So wait, I want to segue to a woe to say if we're good with that
Show,
guy,
man.
and I am so upset at myself right now, dude.
I thought that was for sure.
I was
you
like,
had.
I know this guy. What is this dude from? He's fucking Mr. Payne from Dazed and Confused. So he's one of the winners for sure. I have 3 good other
All
ones.
right, go for it.
We already talked about Jet Jackson, that he's that guy.
Lee Thomas Young.
Now these next 2, I'm also happy. Another Dazed and Confused guy. The interviewer, the reporter outside of the truck stop is Pickford's dad, who busts up the party before they can have the kegger.
You're right.
And this one I'm really proud of. I've been watching Sopranos.
Okay.
Of course you have, yeah.
This guy, the guy who hosts the coin flip,
is
Janice's boyfriend from season 3.
Right,
Who's
thank
narcolepsy.
you. The guy who's like
asleep
from
all
like
the time.
Oregon, and
He's like, and he keeps saying, "Have you heard? He is
he's
risen."
definitely that guy. Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
So all of those guys. This is a great that guy category.
Definitely so.
All right, let's move it on. Did you guys have any?
Sorry, before we move it on, because I have cast/directors.
I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
As like a category, I just got to mention Peter Berg has done so much
He's a
shit.
fantastic-
Peter Berg,
He's been
definitely
producing
crunching it.
shit for a long time. He's been fucking directing
And he
shit for a long
also,
time.
did the
Starred in shit.
He also executive produced the show. That's why it has the same feel to it and shit.
So I'm just saying is that I just shout out for him.
Pete
He's
Berg's
fucking-
Right.
awesome.
All right.
Tip the hat.
All
There
right.
it is.
Thank you, Bobby.
Sir.
Do you guys have any like needle drop any songs you want to mention? There's only like I think a handful I had written down.
Yeah, I just got a couple just to
It's a
throw
lot
out
of
there.
public enemy.
The first thing, the reason that the movie is so up there for me is the amazing score.
Yes.
It hits at literally your heartings though, and just
from the band Explosion in the Sky.
the little guitar, you know. The ones that I knew and wrote down, Tricky. It's Tricky by Run DMC.
Yes.
Nothing But a Good Time by Poison.
Yes.
I believe this is the song Got My Mojo Back by Preston Foster. That's the jazz ditty
Okay.
that they do.
Yes.
That one was fucking really, I was like, this is great. And then New Noise, Refused.
Yes.
Dude, this song I'm going to start just playing all the time.
I have it on a bunch of my playlists. Honestly.
It's the
Low key, great fucking song.
It's the lead up into the
game, the championship game.
Oh, to Dallas Carter.
The reality is Dallas Carter, just real quick, because I did a little bit. Tim McGraw actually did play baseball and football growing up. He's a big football advocate, and, you know, he has knowledge on it. So I initially was going to give him shit, but I was like, you know what? Let me do a little research, so I'm taking that away. But Dallas Carter had someone who was ineligible due to his academics play that got removed. So Permian won the state based on that technicality. And then what was sad is I think 7 out of the 12 of their like starters were in a slew of different robberies in the Dallas area and were arrested. So all those guys with possible future careers in football got arrested, thrown in the clink.
I don't feel that bad for those.
I don't either, but it's just
So the other one I had is Black Betty. Sorry, and then Ryan, throw it over to you.
Betty.
Oh yeah, like they had a smattering of like said Public Enemy songs.
Yeah.
The main one was Terminator X to the Edge of Panic, and then they had Bring the Noise.
Bring the noise.
And then of course, also they had Wild Side from Molly Crew in the background of one.
Yep, that's right.
That's all I
Is
have.
that the party? I think so.
I think it's like they're
Yeah.
they're doing the chugging.
And I personally, I just like there was a march, you know, drum cadence
Yeah, mhm.
as the last football play is happening in slow mo. I was like, fuck yeah.
I think that the best part, like Woj touched on, is like the score by Explosion in the Sky, where they use the guitar thing at different parts
Right.
of the movie. It really is a great great sound for the movie.
Absolutely good theme.
Let's go with spin-off, prequel, sequel. Obviously, there's already a show, but besides that, maybe specifically to this movie, to the characters of the
I put something as like a version of them where like a couple of guys, like you pick out three of them. Let's say Winchell, Chavez, and
Billingsley
yeah, get into
college.
the same college,
Oh, okay.
running it back kind of deal.
Yeah.
And like just amp it up from high school to college. Now you got tits,
It's like
and,
Saved by the Bell, the college years.
but like do like
Ryan
to
LA,
me,
it's-
it'd be like a HBO series or something
Oh,
like that
yeah.
where you can show some bush.
Well, I definitely think when we talk about it, I think you know obviously with the show, I think it works better because you can expand on more things. So I'm definitely a fan of that. That's a
Okay.
good idea.
Good stuff. Go
I
ahead.
had Donnie's dad when he's on the team back in the day.
that would be a
Tim
cool
McGraw,
one.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Tim
cool.
McGraw, young him. I think that would be cool. And then I also had, I guess, the next season when they win it all with Comer as the star could be something.
Yeah,
to
that'd be
watch.
cool.
That would be something worth watching. I liked, dude, that was a great add-on. I would want to do Billingsley during the season because clearly in the movie he's like, we're not winning state today, and he was trying to have a good time. He's partying. That'd be kind of a fun thing, kind of like Blue Mountain State, but not as raunchy and stupid. I love Blue Mountain State too, but it'd have a different feel.
It was a Blue Mountain State that was a straight up
Right, straight up comedy.
This could
I'm
be a
just saying this-
drama.
Right,
more
Billingsley, I guess mid-season, just partying and doing that. I think that'd be
Yes.
cool.
I gotcha.
I have, if we're done with that.
I got some more
go ahead,
pickiness to
I was
throw out.
I got
gonna-
one
I was
picky
gonna
net,
go to
too.
picky
Let's
nits.
circle back to
Yeah,
picking
I was
it. There
going.
you go. So my thing is always based on a true story. I've now learned that it's like it's an amalgamation of like what Hollywood wants to
Yeah.
do and then a little iota of like what actually happened.
100%.
I mean, there are a litany of things
There's
that
tons of.
are real. I mean, this website that I found was like Real World REEL versus REAL.
Yes.
And it's just a lot of stuff that like the biggest thing that I have a problem with in like Hollywood, but I get it for Hollywood's sake, is that like they just added in like the Billingsley Tim McGraw story
Relationship,
like
sure, yeah.
They asked Billingsley like, hey, did any of this thing ever happen? The ring out the window. He's like, no, none of that happened. It was just all Hollywood.
Well, I know too. Booby was a fullback, not a running back in real life. And the way we talked about the way in which he was hurt was different.
Right.
I think they said that Ivory was actually a linebacker, not a lineman. I think I read that somewhere as well.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you had more.
I would also want to throw Ivory into that cast of three that I mentioned. For
Yes.
the spin
the picky nit I had was when Billingsley hit the bench after, I think, fumbling or doing something stupid. He looks over, and this motherfucker had a cherub-looking face. He looks like he was barely a freshman sitting on the bench next to him. Did anyone else see that?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I did.
I was like, what is
did.
this kid, like 10?
I saw that too. I did. I did see that.
Like, this is varsity football. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
I noticed a lot in like the
did see
Dallas
that.
Carter game or
Those
whatever.
Those guys look like fucking
Old as
adults.
shit,
yeah,
yeah.
those guys were like shaving by like age 13 or something.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that like the guys in the like background, Odessa Permian, like they were always like a 5'8" white dude that looked like he could maybe bench 135 pounds. Like it just was like a lot of despair. Like I get that they're trying to make Dallas Carter look so imposing, but like
yeah.
it was ridiculous in some instances.
I have a big one.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, this goes into, is Coach Gaines a really good coach? How does he? This is with Booby's injury. How does he not either A, go with Booby to the appointment to the MRI, or B, see the X-ray or whatever? He just like
He did see it and he lied about
He
it.
just he doesn't.
No.
Never sees it. He just takes LV and Booby's word for it.
They
He's
get the coach talks with the trainer.
The trainer says, "I think it's catching."
Coach talks with Booby.
Yeah.
Booby talks with the doctor.
Then he goes to
then
Midland.
goes back to coach.
You're right. And then
Never does the coach know exactly what the extent is, but except the trainer says it's
right.
torn.
And also, besides that as well, I talked to Woj yesterday when we were at golf. How does he not? He just puts him in the game cold. He doesn't have a practice with him, a walkthrough. He never saw him even run sprints or do a cone drill. Nothing. Yeah. He just assumes he's good to go in the biggest game of the season to this point to clinch the playoffs. You're like in the last 5 minutes of the game. You're just putting him in cold. Like you have no idea. Like you just take his word for it. You can't take a high school kid's word for it.
So
like,
yeah, there's
a
lot of trusting in that, and then
I think the guy kind of earned it though. I mean, if this guy's been your stud for some time,
you're a coach and
I get it.
You're an adult. Like you have to make the decision for the player. Of course, the player wants to play.
Right.
You know, like.
But then also on top of that, Coach Gaines straight up lies to the team about the extent of the injury.
Yes,
are the kids not going to talk and be like, "Hey, Booby, what's up, man?"
So good news is it's just he'll miss a couple weeks. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
like
fucking,
what?
One of the saddest scenes there is when he gave him what was the memorabilia? He's like, "This is gonna be worth a lot."
His locker plate.
His locker plate is gonna be worth a lot one day, and
His
knowing going out to that car, like my future's gone.
Right.
I would just say that
exit was sad.
So Booby and his uncle are annoying as fuck, and Karma's a bitch.
I had
Go ahead.
Like all the equipment and the clothing like for the football, like Booby's Nikes and other players. They're like the modern day ones, and
visual,
a lot of the players are wearing Under Armour and
Right,
Oakley visors. Like those weren't around until like 2002.
Yeah.
Like none of that shit would be
Yeah,
there.
all of the uniforms and stuff like that are definitely from a different time.
I think Nike existed, but barely in the 80s.
Right.
I mean, yeah,
it's coming out with Jordan, but it's just coming
they had
out.
Adidas
that was
stuff.
basketball. That wasn't.
I'm saying,
does anybody know why they call him Preacher Man?
Because I don't know, maybe he's quiet and he's a church.
I assumed he was just religious.
Never got a real reasoning for that.
Yeah, that's true.
I also have. Honestly, this is just kind of more of an other. Is like it's an interesting concept for an undersized team. It's just like we are going to be stronger than you, not stronger like physically, but like mentally. Like we will like fight through fucking whatever. It's a pretty good concept if your team is going to be fucking undersized in Texas football.
You gotta beat him with speed. Then that was their whole point.
But it's just more of like that circle drill with Preacher was just really just to be like, yo, we will fucking get up even when we're 1 inch from death. Like.
Yes,
you gotta have that mentality. There is no tomorrow.
I'm good on picking Nits.
Yeah.
We went over them throughout.
I got a couple more. We already lost the camera for the thing, so
we did.
It's whatever. We're recording over here though.
Yeah, fuck it.
Audio.
Do it live.
I got some shit to say.
We'll do it live.
I got some shit to say. It would have been better with an R rating. Throw in some fucks. Throw in some more scantily clad women.
Titties.
Yeah, do all that stuff. It would have made a better movie.
You know my policy. Titties always make a movie better.
I do have to just mention, I love a QB throwing a block for a run. They had Winchell throwing a couple out there.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, give me some of that.
Yeah.
They do. Okay, Permian. When they're running the ball down in like one of the later games, to get
2 minutes lasts forever.
2 minutes, they ran like 40 fucking
There's no
runs.
way. There's no way.
Oh, and we talked about too. We kind of like when they do the shots of certain like. At first they go from like the 30 to the 50, then they go back to like the 20 to 10, then back to the 50.
There
like,
was definitely
inconsistency on the editing, or I don't know, like
Yeah,
2 minutes. You're not getting all those plays in. There's no fucking way.
A lot of continuity errors. Where are the flags in a state championship game? Like
there was a few.
They had
but
the one when the guy got hit twice. They all went at him, and that's the only one I remember.
No, I'll tell you back when you watch it back again. Yeah. They only called a penalty for late hit.
That's what I'm saying. That's the
when
one.
Chavo hit the guy that already scored a touchdown after they didn't call.
No, they called the penalty on Chavo.
They called the penalty on Chavo. They didn't call the hit on Billingsley or the other white guy who got hit down and then speared in the back.
Right.
No, they had all the flags fly at him.
One of them did. The other one didn't.
There was like I don't know what they mean.
No, there's one to the quarterback where I think he got hit twice, and then like you said, one out of the two. The other one they just looked the other way.
Okay, I'm just saying it didn't. There wasn't a whole lot of flags for a game that I would expect is like,
Yeah.
hey, there's a
No.
million fucking people here.
They did throw flags at the one guy though. The guy who got hit twice, and he's like, "What did you see? They could have killed him." And like they show his body on the ground. There's 2 flags. They hit him.
Okay. I'm mistaken on that. You know, their type of game definitely is reminiscent of the like 85-05 Bears. Definitely earlier on, like when the defense is really bailing them out of games and stuff like that. And then the last thing, 2 things I got real quick. Chavo, great name for Chavez, without a doubt. And if you guys notice it, Winchell has a real shitty spiral.
Yeah, he's not a good quarterback.
Dude, it's fucking
shit spiral.
Dude, where is the other options?
Again, like, is Gary Gaines a good coach? You didn't have another quarterback to put.
I mean,
in
that's
there?
the biggest question mark I think. I
Love
take away.
Chavo though. That lick in the end zone. You know what? They were playing dirty all game. It's time to let them know. You know, hey, fuck you too. You know.
Agreed. So let's just wrap.
Chavo was a great corner.
Yeah,
He was a safety.
Safety, whatever.
Let's wrap it up then.
Yep.
If you want to own it, stream it, skip it, and give me your grades.
I'll rock it off first. I think this is something that you should. I would say stream it for folks that don't like football. You know, obviously it's a pass, but for most people, stream it when you get a chance, or if it's out there. I think it's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock right now.
It's on Peacock. Go check it out. I would give it an 8.3. I think they did a great job. I think there is obviously some lacking in characters and lacking in plot, but for what it's worth, there was a lot of redeeming stories and a lot of redeeming scenes.
Woj.
Yeah, I would go with it's a stream for me. To me, and Ryan, honestly, when you brought up that the jerseys and the uniforms or whatever were definitely not at the time, it did, and this time watching it through, it did kind of take me out of it a little bit.
Yes.
Because there are other movies that do that. Like, I'm just
Like
up-
Invincible.
well, like Varsity Blues and just general, like
Yeah.
it's good of the time, the style of
Sure.
the time. So that definitely took it down a notch for me. So I'd put it as stream. It's not, to me, it's not one of the football movies that I'm like, you need to see this. This is the
This is the truth, you know.
like this is the mecca of all football. It's not, to me, it's not in that category.
Mm-hmm.
My rating would probably be, I'm gonna go 7.9.
Okay.
7.9.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go with an own. I do own it. But it's not like I don't. I mean, I think it's definitely dependent on if you like football. I think if you do like football, you should definitely own it. Like we said, it's one of the more realistic shot movies. What I would say that holds it back into being compared to like Remember the Titans, let's say, or even like The Replacements, like the ones that I would want to watch more than this is. Those are more entertaining to me. I like the characters more, the writing, just again the entertainment value of it. It makes me want to rewatch those more. Even like Varsity Blues, like the football looks like shit, but like it's
more
funny
entertaining,
and I
I
like
guess,
watching
yeah.
it more.
This has more of a serious tone.
Yes.
It does.
I mean, I think with Friday Night Lights, the football aspect is definitely the choreography, as I call it, is great.
Much better than
yeah,
but it fell short on the development of characters
yes,
on the teeter-totter.
exactly what I was
It's like
getting
it's,
at,
It's
yes.
going further up where, to me, I'm just like, again, like the things that we start to bring up again of like, oh, well, the 40 plays that were run in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes. It's like, that takes it out of me then because it's like,
yes,
this game would have been over in 3 plays.
I agree. So my score, I'm gonna go 8-4.
Okay.
It's like
Respectable.
it's a solid movie, but
B-.
there are better ones that I would turn to more often. It would probably be like in the back end.
And am I teasing mine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
good.
I'm wrapping
So
it up.
for next week, Any Given Sunday. That's my selection. I hope you guys.
Yeesh.
It's believe it or not, it's a 2-hour, 42-minute film.
I
So-
believe
No,
it.
it's
It's Oliver
not.
Stone. You fucking
yeah, it is, man. I'm not
Really?
kidding you. Yeah,
Interesting. I didn't.
it's an.
I haven't seen Any
it's
Given
a 2-hour
Sunday.
plus movie.
I haven't seen it in a while though, so I'm pretty stoked for that. But yo, this is a good one, man. I
Yeah.
think what we will find is that the football ones will take a little bit longer because we really got in the weeds. I think this Friday Night Lights had a little bit more picky nits, and
For
we
sure.
took definitely a road down there. Forgot to turn
It was
off the
important
AC.
though.
Just realizing that now. Great audio. But yeah, I mean, dude, for the Journeyman Lounge podcast, I'm Woj.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Ryan.
And we will fucking talk to y'all next week. Check out the Instagram. I'm putting up fucking video game clips and shit like that. It's some funny shit. Check it out.
All right, cool.
Peace.